Hey guys, Brian with the Horror Experience. Coffee. Kind of a long night. I don't know. When you're running a cat rescue, some nights are longer than others. It just depends on what's going on. But cats operate on a very strange schedule, and they are graveyard operators. They operate during graveyard shift. And I used to work graveyards, but I don't anymore, so I would like to sleep. But it doesn't always work that way. Anyway, the reason why I'm doing this video for two reasons. One, I was going to showcase some movies, and then also wanted to mention that there was some very strange goings on around here lately, especially since I started doing this channel, which I just barely started. I started it and then I kind of got off of it for a while as I was getting busy, and then I was more on Facebook for a while, and that didn't work out, so I'm back here again. But so there was a little bit of a break there. But anyway, so we're getting things rolling again, and it's taken a little time to do it. I know I'm not great. I'm not all fancy and everything with computer, generated stuff and flashing lights and colors. And speaking of which, TV. But anyway, but I try. I just try to be creative with what little bit that I have, and I don't like to spend a lot of time editing and doing all that shit. I just get on here and just go, and you know, that's just the way I am. I'm not gonna read scripts and have anything planned every time. Sometimes I just get on here and just spurt crap. But anyway, earlier I did speaking of weird things. We've been here 17 years, which is a long time for an apartment. I mean, most people don't make it 5. I mean, I've seen so many people come and go, including management, owners, everything, and tenants, obviously. Right now, it's the best it's ever been. It is super quiet around here. I mean, I go outside and there isn't shit. There's nobody. It's just they're all indoors, minding their own thing. Not to say that they don't come outside. I'm just saying that they're all very nice, respectful people. Nobody's bumping music or having domestics or any of that stuff. Once in a while, we have some people across from us that'll get into a little spat, but they're kind of off their rocker, so whatever. But they're nice people. They're not criminals or thugs or any of that crap. Anyway, we've been here a long time, but before we moved in, there had been a murder and a suicide in this apartment. And here I am decorating it with all this, monsters and, horror stuff and Halloween stuff. And my wife loves it. She loves it. It was actually her idea to do all of this, and that's how we kind of spawned the idea of having a horror podcast later on, which we did do for quite a while. But like I had mentioned in previous videos, it fell apart due to COVID. Everybody had lost their jobs, and everybody got laid off, and a lot of bad things were happening. I mean, it was just equipment had to be sold, and then there was difference in opinions on things, and it just one thing led to another, and it finally just collapsed. But anyway, so weird things have been happening here, and it's only happened since I started recording. And just earlier, I did a little segment, a little short on the fact that I'm going to be running cartoons on here. And at the very beginning, not even probably 30 seconds or less than 30 seconds in, you hear a beeping. And it's a beep, beep. Now, I was running Transformer music on there from the 80s, and it's very possible that might have been in there. I'm not really sure. But it sounds like my coffee maker. And I have coffee on all the time, because throughout the day I've got guys coming in and out with the props, and we're tearing stuff out and putting stuff in and doing all kinds of stuff. But anyway, So I have coffee on, and it runs on an hour. So if you turn it on, you brew a pot, and then it'll stay on for an hour, and then it'll shut off. And when it shuts off, it beeps. It does two beeps, beep beep. And anyway, I hear the beep sound twice on the video, and it seems like I remember hearing it, but it didn't really, because I was filming, I wasn't really paying much attention. It didn't really dawn on me that, oh, the coffee maker's turned off, because I usually go back and turn it back on, especially if it's more than a half a pot, and I want to throw it away. And then about 5 minutes after I did the video, it beeped again, and this time it really did go off, like it never went off. So what the hell is that? Really weird. And now, like I said, it's very possible it might have been part of the music, because, like I said, the choice of music that I chose for it was Transformers, and it might have had a beep in there. I don't know. It's very possible. So I'm always looking for explanations. There was another video way back that I did, and I need to go find it because I don't remember which video it was. And I can't even remember what, I was reviewing a movie or something, and I don't even remember what the movie even was, which is going to make it even more complicated. But I could hear a cough, and I had the windows closed. Nobody was here except myself and the cats. And cats don't cough like people, It was like, like a person coughing, like they were sitting next to me. I didn't hear it, in person, but when I was listening to the video, there it is. And Josie and I, my wife and I, listened to it back over and over and over again, and it's there. It's a cough, and it fucking lit me up. I was just like, no, wait a minute. That wasn't me coughing. I was talking, not coughing. But anyway, there's even evidence in here that's still here from when the person bleeped herself and in the kitchen and fell and bled out. And when you mop in there, the stain will come up because she sat in here for a long time, and I guess the blood sat in here a long time, and long enough to soak into probably the wax. I mean, it's linoleum. Probably hasn't been waxed in 40 years, so I mean, it's just sitting there, but it doesn't bother me. I mean, I've worked in security and private investigations, and worked in dark, and heard a lot of things, and worked in buildings that everybody said was haunted, and I don't acknowledge. It's not that I don't believe in it, I just don't pay attention to it. But when you're at home, you pay attention to it, So I don't know, I just think this is funny. Because a lot of times you do hear things only in recordings. And sometimes it might just be a residual thing, like a residual recording going on. If something intense happened in a location, then, like a domestic or a murder or something, you might hear sounds just, like repeating itself. It's like caught in a continuum. A time continuum. Anyway, I thought that was kind of interesting. But that's not the real reason why I'm doing this video. The real reason why I'm doing the video is I see a new horror icon on the rise. And I don't know if you know who it is, but I think it's going to be Jack in the Box. This is the new one, or the first one that just came in. In other words, this is the first release, the first movie, which everybody, I think, just assumes that it's another fucking doll movie. And that's exactly what it looks like. It looks like, oh God, another Puppet Master, But it isn't. This is a demon that grants wishes. But there's a catch. It's not just about asking him. And it's about doing something for him. And you have to give him 6 souls in order to get your wish granted. Now, in order to do that, you have to kill 6 people and then give him those bodies or souls. So this guy's a demon. He actually gets out of the box completely. So he is a full-sized demon creature And he is pretty neat. I love this movie. I really do. I love this movie. And I found out about it purely by accident myself. And I had seen him, and I just thought the same thing everybody else did. It's just another doll movie, Here's the second one. The Jack in the Box Awakens. And yeah, it's another clown, I know. Like Art. Like, we really need another damn clown. That's another thing. But this has got a really neat twist to it, and I really like it. Now, every story, like I had mentioned in a video before, because I did touch on these a little bit when I was showcasing a bunch of movies at the same time, new arrivals and stuff, that you don't have to watch these movies in order. Each movie is a totally different story. It's still dealing with the same character, Jack in the Box, but, and the same rules apply and everything, but it's just a completely different scenario, different cast, different people, different situation altogether. So anyway, I see this guy taking off, and you can see there's been some, if you can see in the glare there, I apologize for that. That's the only... But anyway, there's a lot of... people are saying a lot of good things about these. I mean, somebody sat down and gave these a chance, and they've been kind of taking off ever since. I wouldn't have heard about these if it hadn't have been for another YouTuber. Would have never heard about it. And he said he really liked them, so I gave him a run. And I loved him, and I got him here. Here's the third one. Jack in the Box Rises. So I think we're going to see this guy on horror collages, shower curtains, pictures. I have a horror collage shower curtain. It's ages old, but it's got, all the greats on there, that everybody... Some are icons and some are not. Some are just like really popular, but they're not necessarily an icon. You only saw him once. Like Tarman in the Return of the Living Dead, He was really popular, but you only saw him that one time, But anyway, this guy's probably going to be another icon that we're going to see. I am feeling it. I am feeling it, guys. And also, I wanted to mention that, yes, I am going to be doing cartoons also. Now, this is just going to be a sporadic thing, just when I get a wild hair. I love classic cartoons, 70s, 80s, and 90s particularly. Stuff that I grew up with primarily from high school, during the 80s mainly. I collect. And I also collect like classic sitcoms and things like that, especially 80s. Like Barnaby Jones, In Search of, Matlock, shit like that. I do touch on 90s, Rockford Files, whatever. I've got a lot of stuff. So, and even some newer stuff that I fell in love with. I think the last sitcom that I really enjoyed was probably Big Bang Theory, and then after that went off, I haven't been able to get into anything else, really. There's a few, but I not enough to where I need to go out and buy them or anything. But I'll tell you what, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do these cartoons, and I think it'll be fun. I did run a Heathcliff cartoon on the whatchamacallit, on the oh fuck me, what do you call that, on the community section of my channel. There's a section there called Community, and I have all the trailers and full movies and stuff of pretty much everything I've covered. Not everything, but everything that I've covered since I've been back. Anyway, so, like, here's Heathcliff. Unfortunately, Mill Creek got a hold of this, and you know how Mill Creek treats things. I mean, granted, they've done some good. They come out with like the 50 movies. They own the Pendulum Pictures, and that do the low budget horror movies and all of that. And they did okay with that, pretty much. But they're stuck on cardboard, flimsy ass cardboard. Here you got an 80s gem, Heathcliff was one of my, Mel Blanc did the voice for Heathcliff, and they're going to put this in a fucking little flimsy ass box, I mean, I could rip this up with my pinky toe, and in its envelopes, as usual, this thing it just literally just falls right out. If you pick this up wrong, it'll just fall out, It's like, come on, guys. Put a little more effort into something. It's too bad that we need somebody to pick these up that ran these damn things, that owned them at the time. The problem is that they let these companies come through and buy the rights of these old sitcoms and stuff, and then they make their own box sets out of it, and they just fuck it all up. They threw this together. They did the same thing with Rockford Files. They did the same thing with the Partridge Family. They don't fix anything up. They don't clean up the transfers. Nothing. It's just they just throw it on there as is and give you a flimsy ass box with envelopes. It's about making money. That's what it is. Let's give them a piece of garbage, and just make some money off of it. And it ticks me off. But anyway, that's my rant for today. I've always ranted about their releases. They don't put a lot of love into the stuff that they have access to. They're just in it for the dollars. They're not in it because they care about anything. They just care about money. Anyway, that's all I had, but I am going to run cartoons. I've got cartoons from the 70s, even further back than that, but I'll probably stick with 70s, 80s, and 90s primarily. I've got the whole Beavis and Butthead. I've got a lot of Warner Brothers stuff, the Hanna-Barbera stuff, you name it. We'll just go through a bunch of it. I'm also a huge Scooby-Doo fan, so if you like Scooby-Doo, then you're in the right place. I've got a lot of Scooby-Doo, and I will be running Scooby-Doo on the community section also. There's people that have posted Scooby-Doo movies, the original movies, which I have all of them. Finally. It took me a while, but I was short like 6 movies, and it was only because some of them are getting a little bit hard to find. But luckily they re-released one of them, and then on Blu-ray even, and then some of the other ones I had to buy used because they were out of print. But they're little by little they're starting to bring it back out again because the interest is coming back. People love Scooby-Doo, and it's practically the only thing left that Scooby-Doo's doing is the original movies, and they're full-length animated films, just like the cartoon, just like the Scooby-Doo Where Are You cartoon from '69. It's just like that. The only difference is it's a full-length film. And there's about 40-something of them now, 44 or something like that. But anyway, and I've got a lot of the series, too, and a lot of the ones that I grew up as a kid. I remember sitting there on Saturday mornings watching this stuff, like Wacky Races and the Laugh Olympics, with the Scooby-Doo Laugh Olympics. Anyway, we'll have fun with that. It's going to be sporadic. In between the blood and guts, you might get a cartoon here and there. Or maybe even a sitcom. So I am going to kind of... cats. If they can break it, they'll break it. If they can chew it up, they'll chew it up. I kid you not, my cats are not cats. They're dogs in a cat body, in cat bodies. They have no interest in sleeping. They have no interest in not leaving you alone. When I go to the bathroom, they all have to be in the bathroom with me. Anyway, all right, guys. Until next time, we shall see you. I'll probably be up again a little later. I have a lot of catching up to do on videos and stuff, especially horror stuff from a lot of you guys out there. We'll see you soon. All right, bye.